to the Ganga in Benares. You are supposed to give up something which you like. So most of them go, and they give up, for instance, what it is called, bitter gourd, which nobody likes, or brinjal, which many people don't like. And they come back self-satisfied. I've given up. But you say, but you don't like it. You are supposed to give up something you like potatoes, which you love. No, you say, then how will I live, God doesn't mind. So we rationalize over our attempts to cheat God. We throw in copper, thinking God will think it is gold. There's a beautiful story about a town, which had no rain for so many years that even the temple tank went dry. Severe water shortage. So one wise man came and everybody rushed to him and said, how to get water here, you see. He said, it's very simple. Each one of you at night, when nobody is looking, go and drop a cup of milk into that tank. And by morning, you will find it full of crystal water. So every house sent somebody with a cup. And everybody thought, who's going to look if I put in a cup of water among so many cups of milk, and all put water. Morning, of course, there was crystal clear water filling the tank. Which can be said that when God wants, He can fill it by making you fill it yourself. Isn't it? So even when we try to cheat, God is merciful. With your cup of water, He filled the tank. And behold, with 2 loaves and 5 fishes, God filled the multitude. You understand? So this quantum business puts the onus for our self-development on us, not on teaching, not on assistance, not on efforts to train yourself in some ways like the Chariji and Mellon Institutes and things like that, but by imagination saying, this I am. And you imagine yourself more and more, you become that. All the mysticism and the great mystics of the world have said, that upon which you meditate, you shall become. The same truth stated in mysticism, the same truth now stated by quantum physics. And Babuji said, avoid negative thoughts. No, Babuji, I'm a failure. He said, stop thinking like that. From tomorrow you will be successful. No, but how can I become successful, Babuji? I've tried so many years and I've always failed. I'm afraid to try again. Set aside fear. Fear is our greatest enemy. Because when we go on the street, you are afraid, you project your fear. If there's a dog and you are afraid of it, it receives your fear, it becomes afraid. You walk serenely as if you own that street, nothing on earth can stop you. Because in God's eyes, you do own it because it is part of the earth, not part of Madras or London or Tibet. If you create this difference, I am in a foreign land, I may be attacked. The very thought that I may attack, in a certain sense, quantum sense, creates attackers. Of course, scientists will say, do you mean to say, Chari, they were waiting for you to call them? No answer. Quantum physics says, think of a dog. In some way, all the particles will coalesce into a dog. So you see, this movie, What the Bleep Do We Know, is a very interesting and a very telling movie because it is able to educate us in the same way as Babuji Maharaj said. Only thing it says it in different terms. Babuji said, sit down, close your eyes, avoid all unnecessary thoughts. What are unnecessary thoughts? Every thought except the one which I must have. And what is the thought I must have? That I am proceeding towards the goal. I remarked on an earlier occasion that meditation must have dynamism behind it. Dynamism is the purpose. And what is the purpose of my meditation? To reach my goal. If I ignore the goal or if I forget it, I will be like children who go up and down in elevators, for fun. Press this button, go up, press that button, come down, keep doing it, ha ha ha, ha, you are smiling. That is Kinderspiel, child's play. It has no purpose, it has no meaning, except for half a dozen children to do what they should not be doing and laugh at themselves for enjoying, which is no enjoyment. Purposeful, I am going towards my goal. All other thoughts have been excluded. I am having only this thought. And ergo, maybe even after 1 minute, because Babuji said, if you are meditating in the right way, you just have to turn your head from here to here, and you are there. When we want to look east, we turn the head here. When we want to look west, we turn the head here. It takes only the movement of your head to go to infinity in the east and to infinity in the west. Why not infinity there? Though it is not really there. Therefore, we don't look up, but we look here, where the true infinity resides, because it is said in all mystic lore, literature, that within the heart, there is a universe much vaster than this universe of which you know. In fact, it can contain many, many more universes than all universes in the known universes. Such is the vastness of the heart. And yet, God resides there, perhaps because it is vaster than the universe He created in the material plane. And He resides as a tiny atomic flame, that is how it is described. Anoraniya. Ano, you see, smaller than the atom. Mahato Mahiya, bigger than the biggest. God's description is smaller than the smallest, larger than the largest. Of course, in between, everywhere, at all times. Why is He in this atomic? Because that is how He has created the universe from a tiny speck of non-matter, which is called, what is it called in science? No, a dimensionless. Dimensionless what? Anybody? Huh? No, antimatter is something else. It is, even I have forgotten. Krishna, what is it called? The thing from which Big Bang erupted?
Singularity.
Singularity. Why is it called a singularity? Because it is singular. When you say no, it was a singular phenomenon, never before seen, never afterwards possible to be seen. Dimensionless, almost does not exist. Does it exist? Nobody can say. Does it not exist? We cannot also say. Description of God given by Babuji in the Vedas also. Neither can you say He exists, nor can you say He does not exist. In the Nasadiya Sukta, of which Babuji used to say, no sadasit, nasadasit. Of God, you cannot say He exists. You also cannot say He does not exist. To the Westerner, it would be at least a conundrum, at most the height of stupidity and ignorance. How can something be either? It has to be either or no. All the Western science is either or, like computers. Yes, no, with a stroke in between. The whole world is divided into Y stroke N. Here, it can be, it may not be. What does it depend upon? My faith. If I say He is, He is. If I say He doesn't, to me He is not. So, atheist is only permitted to say, to me, my dear, He does not exist. It's like a bachelor. A confirmed bachelor who will never marry. He cannot say wives don't exist. He can say, I say my wife doesn't exist because I have never married. As an atheist, I don't believe in God, so for me God doesn't exist. He may exist for you. That is the right approach. Then one day he has the opportunity of saying, for me too, no God exists. But when he says God does not exist with a finality, a decision that He doesn't exist at all for anybody, he makes the biggest mistake of his life, and he condemns himself to a godless existence and suffers the consequences thereof.